Who do you think Viggo Mortensen would play in
You
say.
Who do you think Viggo Mortensen could play in a Marvel movie?
Dr. Doom.
Oh, that's not bad. I just saw a picture of him as a cowboy, and I was like, man, he'd be a really good Doc Holliday.
Yeah, you would.
But then I don't know where I went to Marvel with that. But then I was like, what would he be like? Who would you cast him as?
Yeah, that is really interesting. Oh God,
but like him now.
Yeah, dude. I say Doctor Doom still.
Doctor Doom would be cool.
Yeah, I think he'd be a great Doctor Doom.
But it's also like I don't like that.
But I mean, you don't see his face. Yeah,
but
like
he has such a good face.
Oh man, yeah. But oh man, I don't know where my brain just went. I just like my brain was like recasting Lord of the Rings as Marvel.
What do you mean?
Like Elijah Wood as Spider-Man.
Oh.
Viggo Mortensen then would be Iron Man. Gimli would be Hulk.
Orlando Bloom would be Captain America? No, Loki.
Black Widow.
Orlando Bloom is Loki.
No, Black Widow.
Orlando Bloom is Black Widow.
No, he'd be Hawkeye. Come on.
Really?
Legolas? Yeah, I'm thinking of the characters.
No, I was thinking like that. Are you thinking the characters?
I'm thinking of the characters.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Then Hawkeye. I'm like, no, he'd be an awesome Loki. Like he would
be a cool Loki.
He'd be a good Loki.
Yeah. No, because a fucking Sauron, that would be Loki. Sauron, dude. I'm
talking about Saruman.
Saruman, yeah,
the wizard.
Yeah,
that's Saruman.
Yeah,
and then Sauron is.
Too many fucking S names. Lead us in.
This is Tommy.
This is Jacob.
This is
Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Getting all Lord of the Rings nerd on you over here. It's Saruman, fuckhead, okay?
Too many fucking S names.
Aren't there only like two? Isn't it just those two?
They're too fucking similar.
They're all like that. Gimli, son of Gollum. No, what is his name? Gimli, son of... Shit. It's another G.
Goromon.
Goromon.
Fucking, they're like Digimon.
I love that Pokemon.
Hey, everybody! Woo!
I would love to watch that Digimon movie again.
Digimon
was cool.
Movie. Digimon was cool.
Digimon
was super cool. I watched Digimon. Well, I never watched Pokemon as a kid.
I think I watched more Digimon than I did Pokemon.
Yeah, I watched a lot. Yeah, because I never watched Pokemon as a kid. I was actually that kid. I never played Pokemon cards. Never played the Pokemon games. Knew of Pokemon because I was playing Magic the Gathering. I was that nerd.
See in a smoker's coat with a glass of brandy. I played Magic the Gathering.
I knew a strategy.
I always liked Magic because the art, but I never.
The art is really cool.
It seems complicated of a game.
It's really not, especially nowadays.
I was a Yu-Gi-Oh guy.
Oh, dude, then you would get Magic easily.
Really?
Yeah, because Yu-Gi-Oh is literally a dampened down version of Magic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because you have like your mana that you cast your creatures and spells, and Yu-Gi-Oh, what is it? Your energy or whatever? What was it?
Fuck, I don't remember. I feel like it's one of those, if you put it in front of me, I'd start to remember how to play it.
Yeah, because like Yu-Gi-Oh was like you had like your stuff, your cards that would like be able to cast your like your creatures, or what the fuck were they called? Were they called creatures?
Monsters, yeah.
To like play your monsters and whatnot. But they like Yu-Gi-Oh obviously has its own little like twist and brand to it. But
playing Yu-Gi-Oh was fun if you played it like they did in the show.
What, like
screaming at each other? You fool! You activated my trap card. You know, that was the fun in it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we're not talking about our nostalgic card playing.
That was fun.
Today we are talking about. Oh, it's the end of our spooky season.
Happy Halloween, everyone!
Woo! Oh, that's right. It's Halloween weekend with this recording.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm dressing up as yet. But today we are finishing off our block. If you've been following us, you know what it is. It is Cursed. And this movie is Cursed. Fuck, dude. I'm actually I'm really happy we did this movie because I didn't know about its history.
The fuckery that happened behind the scenes.
Dude, yeah, no, I was like, holy fucking shit. This was I mean, it's gonna be a rabbit hole from every single time. But I held back on going down too deep of a rabbit hole. But this movie it's notoriously known for its production history problems. Like it took like 3 or 4 years to come out.
It's the curse of cursed.
Yeah, exactly. like there's an interview with Jesse Eisenberg.
There's an interview with a lot of people over the years that are like, what the fuck?
Jesse Eisenberg talking about like they came back for, and I'm not wrong with this, their fourth reshoot, and people had made shirts called "Cursed 4 Back for More." But yeah, let's get into the meat of it. Let's start off.
Cursed was released February 25th, 2005.
Indeed, it was. It's got a 5.
Which is a weird time.
It was supposed to come out 2004 of October.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was supposed to come out around Halloween time. But one of the Weinstein fucks,
Bob.
Yep, not the gross one. The other gross one, maybe. I don't know. He hasn't had anything out yet, but I'm pretty sure there is. Yeah. So he got 5.
Well, there's that Weinstein, and then there's this one who just seems to really like fucking up other people's projects.
They just like
that's his fetish. He likes ruining people's movies.
Yeah,
that's what he gets off on.
Yeah, this got a 5.0 on IMDb, and it should be a lot lower.
Okay, we'll get into that.
So domestically, box office wise, this movie just didn't do good at all. Domestically, it was 117. Do you got worldwide over there for us?
Well, that's kind of interesting though.
What?
Because worldwide, the budget was $38 million. It grossed worldwide $29 million at 104 on the whole list.
So,
but
did you actually do the calculation of where it would be if it actually had the budget of 75?
Did you just fucking crash on me again, you little bitch? Okay. I did not. No, go ahead. Sorry, I got distracted.
So, like, what'd you say the budget was?
$38 million.
Yeah, so from everything that I was reading, that's what it's documented as.
That's what I was going to say. The paper trail says $38 million. It was a lot more than that.
Yeah, like I've read a couple of different accounts where it's like some people, it's like upwards to 75 million.
Jesse Eisenberg, who's one of the leads of this, he was on interview saying, I'm very, very certain that this is at least 75 million. Other accounts go to 90 million.
Yeah, I was going to say 90 to 100 million.
So it's about 90 to 100 million from different accounts that we both have. So we both read different sources. Again, on paper, it says, so technically the budget was $38 million. On paper.
Yeah.
They move some stuff around.
Man. Like some tax evasion.
Yeah, I was gonna say this is some serious embezzlement.
Somebody call Wesley Snipes.
Is that right? Embezzlement.
Embezzlement's when you steal money. I guess tax evasion. I think technically, in the eyes of the law, there are 2 different classes of categories.
How could they embezzle the money to make up for the thing?
No, because like embezzlement is if like
I obviously don't understand the law.
Embezzlement is more like you're moving money to hoard it for yourself. While tax evasion is just not paying the taxes, like moving money to avoid paying taxes. So I guess it's a form of embezzlement.
Okay.
But one, the IRS is going to be mad at, and the other one, I guess lawyers are going to be mad at. Maybe not lawyers, but yeah. Yeah.
Or the company that you
embezzlement's more of like you're stealing from a company, and tax evasion is more of like
Fun and Dick with Jane.
Yeah,
that's what he did, right?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Indicted, Jane. Indicted.
Indicted. Okay, so movies. So this 2005 top 5 movies of the year worldwide was Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire. I like that one. Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. The Chronicles of Narnia, The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, which I forgot they made.
That was like a sweeping movement. That movie.
Well, it's like they did the Witch, the Wardrobe, and then what was the next one? Did they get up to the Silver Chair? I can't remember. They made like 3 of them.
There's Lion, Witch, and Wardrobe. There's Prince Caspian. That's the third one. I don't remember what the
Prince Caspian's the second one.
It is?
Yeah.
I get confused also because the timeline takes like every time they go back 100 years have passed, right?
Oh, like in the world of Narnia, yeah.
It's moments for us, but it's decades for them, right?
Yeah,
because they grow up in the first one, and when they come back, they're kids again, right? Yeah, and the first one they rule for until they're older.
Yeah. I think because I'm pretty sure the silver chair is the follow. No. Voyage of.
I wish we were filming this. That expression you made was awesome.
All right, well, we're not talking about that. And number 4,
I just do want to say though, like Lion Witch and the Ward, the Chronicles of Narnia series, the first one I was really excited for and watching it because it was like kids Lord of the Rings, and I was hoping it would keep on with that epicness, and then it kind of fizzled. Yeah,
well, I mean, did you ever read the books?
No.
Oh, that was one of my favorite series when I read as a kid.
I think the only Lewis book I've ever actually read cover to cover was the Screw Tape Letters.
You read the Screw Tape Letters?
I love the Screw Tape Letters.
How old were you when you read those?
I was in high school. I still have. Okay. I have like a first edition.
I don't know why. I'm just imagining like a 12-year-old you be like, "Oh wow."
I was young when I read. I was like probably like 16 or 17.
Yeah, that makes sense though. That's like around like
Screw Tape Letters are letters to a doctor from a demon trying to convince his patients to sin. If you're never heard of them, they're really cool. They're really cool.
Number 4, War of the Worlds. Number 5, King Kong. Just to get that
get out of the way.
Oh, which King Kong is that? Is that the Peter Jackson King Kong?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. All right, so
who's in that? Jack Black, Adrian Brody.
Yeah. What's her name from Mulholland Drive? Blonde hair.
I'm told Naomi Watts.
Yeah.
Yeah, Naomi Watts, right?
Yeah.
I was gonna say Nicole Kidman. I was like, that's not right.
Nope.
Another pretty.
Wrong.
Yeah.
Another pretty Australian though.
Yeah, another pretty blonde Australian.
I think she's actually technically a redhead. Or like a brunette redhead.
Oh,
like
really?
Natural hair color.
Oh.
Yeah, I think so.
She's blonde a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot.
Yeah, she knows what sells in Hollywood.
Especially in 2005.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go into director. This is directed by Wes Craven. This is another...
You said that kind of sad.
Yeah, because he's passed away and I miss him.
Oh, I thought you meant because this movie was...
No, like I'll talk about that in my review. So if you don't know who Wes Craven is and you're listening to us,
turn it off.
Okay. Wes Craven, most notably known for Nightmare on Elm Street and Scream. But like I was curious, like people maybe they may not know some of the other movies that he's done. Like he did the original Last House on the Left.
The original Hills Have Eyes.
Mm-hmm. He did Swamp Thing, which I actually didn't know.
Have you seen the original Swamp Thing?
Yes, I have.
It's terrible, right?
Yeah, it's bad, but it's...
Is it like good bad?
But I mean, it's like for the 80s, it's like what it is. It's interesting. It definitely wouldn't stand up today. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like Nightmare on Elm Street holds well today.
Swamp Thing show.
Oh, dude, I wish that actually would have continued. That was actually really good.
Yeah, I liked it. It was just hemorrhaging money, right?
It was hemorrhaging money, and like you can tell in the last couple episodes, the special effects just went downhill.
That was cool. Oh yeah, I want a Constantine show like that.
That'd be cool. He also directed a Vampire in Brooklyn, which
he?
Yeah.
Really?
I was sitting there, I'm like, huh?
Weird.
And there's even like kind of there's an part of one of the articles is when he was asked to like direct this movie Cursed, he felt like there was parts of the script that were too similar to Vampire in Brooklyn, and so like even like him talking with Kevin Williamson, there was like some like changes that they wanted to do. Like I don't know, I was just like, this is fucking weird.
Vampire in Brooklyn, that's fucking
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, right?
Yeah.
He did that?
Yeah, he directed it. He didn't write it.
Oh, yeah, but okay.
I think what it was because like Eddie Murphy, Charlie Murphy, and I forget the other writer, they were also producers on it. I think because they wanted there to be a horror element to their like weird comedy.
So they're like Craven.
Cool. They were like Wes Craven, one of the greatest horror directors of all time. So
another Red Eye, People Under the Stairs.
Yeah.
Shocker, which I didn't know that either.
Yep. He's got an interesting early career that some of his earlier career that I didn't really know about that I want to go back. I want to go down a rabbit hole with. And then his last movie before the Scream franchise, which apparently Scream 4 had an issue with the same kind of issue as Cursed of like by Bob Weinstein, the producer.
Fucking Miramax.
Yeah. Well, yeah. To like kind of changed even Wes Craven's and Kevin Williamson's vision for Scream 4.
Ever since we started doing this podcast, now whenever I see Miramax pop up, I'm like, fuck. Like, shit.
What
did you do? What did you do?
All right. So that's Wes Craven. Rest in peace. He passed away in 2015. It is. I mean, he's one of the greatest horror directors of all time. He's changed the face of the horror industry like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, and with him as well, that has done that is the writer Kevin Williamson,
who we're never going to talk about ever again.
Who, yeah, we just talked about.
This is the 3rd time.
I know. You're the one that wanted it to replace with this one. And I told you. I told you.
My partner said, "Oh wow, you got to spread the love."
Yeah, I mean, this was kind of like a last minute choice and whatnot.
Yeah, this is kind of a scramble change.
Yeah, but it is kind of interesting to kind of get like get a perspective on this movie with Kevin Williamson, because
he wrote Scream series, Faculty, and I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah. And he was also like a lead writer on Dawson's Creek and whatnot. Yeah,
Vampire Diaries, and we're never gonna forget what he did.
Nope, not at all.
Talk about it 3 times.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, I actually downloaded the original script to this. I haven't read it yet. I skimmed through it a little bit.
Will you email me that?
Yeah, I can.
Cool.
And
because I'm very curious what the fuck.
I will actually talk about it in this on what the differences are, because there are 3 different versions of this movie that were filmed.
Are you gonna do that now?
No, let's talk to starring, and then we'll go through reviews, and then.
Oh, should we do the synopsis?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
So, my synopsis: a brother and sister are involved in a werewolf-related car accident that leaves them cursed and attempting to find the alpha.
Whoa! Even though like
I like that sentence.
There's like very little like desire to like, they're not even like trying to find the alpha through this movie.
What it really came kind of down to majority of the movie until like the last half an hour. Yeah, until the last half an hour. It's Teen Wolf.
Yeah,
basically, it's them. They got powers now, and they're teenagers.
And one of them is kind of like
20, and he's the teenager.
Yeah, he's like kind of figuring out how to embrace it, but like
he's very Teen Wolf.
Yeah, and then she's kind of like just
denial.
Yeah.
I like the sentence. Involved in a werewolf-related car accident.
Yeah,
that was fun to write.
I mean, you could have really just ended that synopsis right there.
Yeah,
and that's the plot of the movie. Just. There you go.
Oh, I'm sorry. In the Hollywood Hills. Yeah.
Oh yes.
That's a location.
I like that it was on Mulholland Drive. That was actually a fun.
I liked the.
That was a nod.
I did like also. I liked the whole that it was just set place in LA in the Hollywood area. I was just like, it's like, oh, that's cool. That's a cool horror soundboard. That's a good place to have a horror movie.
Yeah,
because it's bright and it's actors in Hollywood and glamorous, but then there's like a dark side, you know,
it's like,
kind of thing.
Don't come out in the daylight.
Yeah, you know, I was like that. I liked that about it.
Hey, Hollywood's a vampire. Actually, that's very.
That's a good
fitting.
name for a song.
Hollywood's a vampire.
Yeah,
and sounds like a emo song.
What was it? Okay, anyways.
Hollywood Undead.
No. Oh my god. I haven't thought about them in a while.
All right, so let's go into starring. So lead actress Christina Ricci, which I did the ages for this, but it's actually when this came out, they filmed this in like 2003. So it's like they're 2 years younger. So like Christina Ricci was 25 when this was released, so 23 when recording it. So I'll just I'll subtract 2 years. I'll just make it 2003 for the recording of how old they were. But I mean, that's really not a big one with this one, because this doesn't really take place in a high school. Just Jesse Eisenberg happens to be a high school student.
Yeah, like there's 2 scenes like at the high school.
I think 3. There's the wrestling scene, the soda machine. Oh, I guess that's it.
Oh, I like how you called it that. I was going to call the...
the locker.
I was going to call it the homophobic scene.
Dude, yeah, that was
brutal. So that's how this movie...
The twist with that was interesting.
But just in the beginning when you first meet Bo, too, I went, this is how this movie started.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, wow.
Okay. We'll get to that. Oh, yeah, so we got Christina Ricci, who's Wednesday...
Yeah, from Addams Family. Like, before this movie, she would really be known for, like, Addams Family, Casper, Now and Then. I mean, she did a lot. I mean, there's a handful of movies that she probably filmed post this that came out before, like Prozac Nation and Monster.
Christina Ricci's in a lot of movies that I forget she's in. Like, I forgot she was in Speed Racer.
Yeah,
and I really liked Speed Racer when it came out.
I don't think I've actually seen it.
It's cool.
I've seen like clips and whatnot, and It's got that weird filming style.
Yeah, it's a visual clusterfuck.
Yeah, Sleepy Hollow.
Oh yeah, see, like love Sleepy Hollow. I forgot that. Yeah, that she's in that.
The Ice Storm. I
don't actually remember the last time I watched Sleepy Hollow.
I can't remember the last time either.
Is that good?
Let's watch it. Let's review it. But yeah, Christina Ricci. What's she done recently? Can you think of anything off the top of your head?
The most recent thing that and it's not recent at all, but the thing I've watched most recently is Penelope. That came out a while ago. She plays a girl that is born like part pig.
Oh, weird.
So she has like pig ears and like a pig nose, and her family keeps her in hiding, and it's like a love. See, like filming right now. Okay, actually, you should watch Penelope. You'd really like it.
Okay, stop talking about it. All right, let's move on.
It's cute.
Let's move on to Jesse Eisenberg, who was probably 20 at the filming of this. So hey, very age appropriate for a teenager, in my opinion. Especially young. He's a guy that looks younger.
Yeah, he's got the Michael Cera thing.
Yeah,
he's always just very young looking.
Before this, he was probably most known for The Village.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm trying to remember what the fuck I wrote there.
The Village.
What?
M. Night?
Yeah.
He's in The Village?
Yeah.
Who is he in The Village?
I vaguely remember, but like he's a smaller role.
Is he a kid in it?
Not a kid, but he's like just only a few years before this.
What, like 2002?
I think he was one of there's like the kids that are like that pick on Adrian Brody's character or whatever.
Oh. Interesting.
I don't know. I haven't seen The Village in a long time.
I do not recall him being in that.
Other than like, I think a lot of people mostly recognize him for like Zombieland and
Justice League.
He's
Lex Luthor.
Social Network. That's what I wrote down. He was in kind of like, it looks like a canceled teen show, or like it was like that one of those like weird CW or whatever shows called Get Real with Anne Hathaway playing his sister.
It feels like just with that casting, that feels like a modern day Even Stevens.
No, it was more like a drama like Seventh Heaven or Dawson's Creek and shit like that. But you
see it with those two being cast, I feel like an Even Stevens kind of vibe.
Yeah. No, yeah, it was more of like we're high school kids. I don't know why I did like.
That's an emotion, I guess. Totally, man. I get it.
I don't know what that was. All right. And then I have next up here.
A listener might totally be like, oh, yeah, totally. Yeah.
I totally feel that. Totally feel that. I know that feeling.
And then others are going to be like me, like, what
Jessica Biel totally gets me.
What?
Seventh Heaven.
Okay. We're talking about Anne Hathaway? The fuck did Jessica? Okay, yeah.
It's I don't know, just like all that like early 2000s like teen drama, Seventh Heaven, Party of Five, Dawson's Creek, The OC, like, you know what I'm saying?
I know what you're saying.
That's that feeling that I had. Joshua Jackson was talking about, who was in Dawson's Creek. He's like 25 probably at the filming this. I only put him up there. Oh, he was also in like Mighty Ducks.
The Skulls, yeah.
Scream,
Shudder.
He has a cameo in Scream 2.
Oh, does he?
Yeah. He's also one of the leads in Urban Legends.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And he's like one of the supporting leads in Cruel Intentions. I actually really like his character in Cruel Intentions.
Who's he in Cruel Intentions?
He's the gay guy that who's sleeping with like he's like really good friends with Sarah Michelle Gellar's character.
Okay, that is him.
Yeah.
And he's in Shudder. Do you remember that movie? That was cool.
Shudder. No.
It's like a Grudge. No, like The Ring, but with a camera, not a videotape.
That sounds familiar. I don't know if I saw that.
It's like a murder ghost mystery thing.
Yeah. It sounds familiar.
I remember thinking it was cool. It was probably total garbage. I'm sorry. That was rude. I don't know. that was mean. I'll shut up. Go ahead.
I mean, we're gonna be talking shit about this movie anyways.
I know, but I haven't seen that movie since it was probably released, so I probably shouldn't talk about it.
And then next I would put I would definitely say Judy Greer is like the next kind of lead in this as well.
Boy, I love her.
Judy Greer.
I love her. She's funny.
She's like she's in What Women Want.
13 Going on 30.
Thank you, 13 Going on 30. She's lead. Well, I guess not a lead, but like she's in Arrested Development. He's fucking hilarious in Arrested Development.
Oh yeah, she is.
She's the one that
Kitty.
Yeah, that he's having the affair with all the time. Oh, when she takes off her glasses and her eyes just go all the way. And you're like, okay, let's put those back on.
She likes to flash people.
Yep.
Also, like for something more recent, she's in the new Halloween movies. She's Jamie Lee Curtis's daughter.
Yep. And I think probably most known for nowadays as the voice of what's her name in Archer? Cheryl.
Oh,
Cheryl. Yeah.
Is that what it is?
You're not my supervisor.
That's her?
Yeah, that's her.
Oh, that's funny. I never knew that.
Uh-huh. Huh. Well, I was like, I think she's most known for, and you're like, oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
I just knew this.
I like that. Yeah, she's absolutely crazy in that.
Yeah, she is.
I was just thinking about the fireman when she's talking about being saved from a burning building, and then he starts choking her out.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Yeah, she's got some...
and Pam was just like, what the fuck?
I just now every time you just think of Judy Greer saying that now.
That's awesome. And one drip of saliva falls onto your bulging eyeball. What the fuck?
Oh, ugly duckling. Bok, bok. All right. And quick shout outs to Shannon Elizabeth from American Pie and 13 Ghosts.
Oh yeah.
There you go. And Maya is in this as well. You got they're like death fodder, and Maya's like the late 90s, early 2000s
singer,
pop singer.
Pop. And then I guess last one would be Port.
She's got such a minor role in this.
I know, but like
I don't know why she's like top billed on IMDb. Portia Del what?
It's because on IMDb it does an order of appearance.
Oh, her appearance. That makes sense. Mandy Moore was supposed to be in this.
Yeah, a lot of people are supposed to be in this.
What's her name? We'll get into that. Portia, I didn't write it down. It's Portia something. She's married to Ellen.
Rossi. Yeah,
she's Ellen's wife.
Yeah,
and she was in Arrested Development and so forth. I guess so. This movie was supposed to have a huge cast, a very different cast, but within all the reshoots, that got lost. Like it was supposed to have like Mandy Moore and Skeet Ulrich from Scream in it as well. And we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's get into reviews.
He doesn't look like a skeet.
Skeet.
He did right.
Skeet.
He doesn't look like a skeet. Let's see.
What do you got for reviews? What? Rich. Did you? Oh wait, really quick. Did you find any good reviews?
I mean, I can start off with a good one.
Please, okay. I want to hear a good review. I want to know what a good review sounds like for this movie.
Okay. Metascore on Metacritic is 31 out of 100, generally unfavorable based on 21 critic reviews. There's 1 positive, 8 mixed, 12 negative. The positive one, which is a 63 out of 100, by Wesley Morris from the Boston Globe.
A D, that's passing-ish.
Just a little snippet from it. Marks a return to a not so distant time when horror movies weren't soul rotting atrocities, but just enjoyably bad.
All right. Okay.
So
someone's got some low standards.
Yeah.
Oh, well, almost bad. Said something really mean.
Tell me off camera. I mean off mic. Where is he? Rich Kisonak? Yeah, we'll go with that. At Film Threat. Until this past Friday, the worst werewolf movie ever made, Harry hands down, Nikolai's Wolf. Curse now assumes that dubious distinction, and someone is going to have to try very hard to wrestle it away.
Okay.
I don't remember Wolf being that bad, though.
I only saw it when I was a kid.
I vaguely remember it.
Also, like every time I think of Wolf, I remember James Spader is in it, and then I remember James Spader is. I've actually seen him act in things a lot longer than I thought I had.
Oh, okay. You're like, oh yeah, he's been around for a minute.
James Spader's like an elusive actor to me. Like, I've seen him in a lot of things. Like when he was cast as Ultron, I was like, who the fuck's this guy? And
who did I think it was? God, I thought it was like his voice. I was convinced it was somebody else. I was like, he sounds exactly like blank. Shit, I can't remember.
And then so Ultron happened. I was like, whoever the fuck that chose to be this guy, James Spader. And then like looking at his list, I'm like, I've seen a lot of things he's in.
Yeah. Dana Stevens at New York Times. It's not bad enough to make you curse, but you are likely to laugh when you should scream and to roll your eyes when you are meant to laugh.
That is accurate.
That was like the best. I was like,
that is one of the most accurate. Like, wow, that is on point. Who was that? What was that from?
Dana Stevens at New York Times.
Good job, Dana Stevens.
Like, yeah.
I give you a thumbs up.
What's like the worst?
Jacob approves.
The Austin Chronicle, Mark Savlov, genre fans and newcomers alike should skip this monstrosity and go rent ginger snaps instead.
Oh. Whoa.
It's brutal.
You got any more you want to share, or do you think?
Ben Kensenberg from Voice. The scariest thing in the movie is a cameo by Scott Baio.
Oh, wow. That's funny, because Scott Baio was supposed to have a bigger role in this.
Yeah, well...
No,
yeah,
like...
No, I know, but I'm just like sitting at the... let's... Okay, do yours. Like,
so we can talk about the atrocity.
Let's just get into this.
Okay. All right. In my opinion, in the horror cinematic world, werewolves aren't at the top of the list of go-to monsters. Regardless of their popularity as a classic movie monster, they tend to fall behind vampires, zombies, and even slasher villains. 2005's Cursed attempts to resurrect the fear of the beast, but fails to do so. The movie casually moves through moment to moment with the least amount of tension and suspense that it becomes laughable. However, that isn't really the movie's fault. It's the fault of the studio changing the creator's vision so much that it becomes almost unwatchable. The dialogue is poor, leading to underdeveloped characters. The mise-en-scene is forced and completely obvious, and it relies too heavily on cliches of the time. It is unfair to write a review of this movie and credit the creators, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson, for the sloppy, dry mess it became. The most frustrating thing about watching Cursed is that you get the semblance of what could have been a good horror movie. Unfortunately, this movie is bad because the studio wanted to create lightning in a bottle and not let it happen organically. This movie was forced into existence, much like the bad CGI of a werewolf was forced into this film. Overall, it feels that with the many complications this movie had in its production process, that it was aptly named Cursed.
Well, my first thought about that what stood out to me a lot was you talking about the aspect of going to werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
I think out of all of creature features, one of the hardest ones to do is werewolves, because it relies so much on, you have to get
makeup,
CG, you have to get the transformation right. You have to, it's a very hard thing.
The original makeup artist that did the design for the werewolf and changing it and whatnot was the same guy that did American Werewolf in London.
Okay.
And I saw a picture of the original werewolf that Judy Greer's character turns into.
Spoiler alert.
And it looks cool. I mean, it looks different. I mean, I don't know. Some people could be like, with it, but it definitely has a much more unique vision. Other than like this forced CGI that Bob Weinstein forced this other, like all of the work that this guy put in was scrapped pretty much. And it's really unfortunate.
Well, because that's like the thing too with werewolf. Like, I mean, because even, and that's what it is. Is like a werewolf is a very, especially for people that are fans of the genre, is a very specific, like, I know people that hate the underworld wolves.
Yeah.
I like them.
And I think they're all right.
I think they're cool. Like, and I like the whole lore with it, like the werewolves now look different because they evolved and they can change what they want. It's like, okay, that's part of the lore. That's why they look so different than the original idea of a werewolf. But it's like, there's a lot of things that can go wrong with a vampire. Give him teeth.
Don't make him sparkle.
Don't make him sparkle. They get hungry. Their eyes get, Louis' eyes get very green, and Selena's get really, they get really blue.
There's like maybe a like in a midnight mass when they have the reflection of their eyes in the dark.
Yeah,
that was really cool.
Stuff like that, and it's like pretty like simple, and because it's subtle.
Yeah,
it's a subtle thing that you can do, know. Or you can go really over to the top with like Buffy.
Yeah,
and make them, or Lost Boys. But with like werewolves, it's like I actually really liked the transformation scene. Really? Like I did. I thought it was cool. I was like, but I also like the transformation scene in Van Helsing when they like pull up their skin like they have a bad sunburn. But
you just like the creativity of it.
Yeah, it's like I find it's a fun way to make it you can change it any way you want and make it interesting.
That's fair. And I can get kind of like that side of the argument. I just thought it looked like the CGI just looked poor.
Yeah, totally. It was more the concept that I appreciated.
That's fair.
And I just think that a big risk anytime you want to do a horror movie is when you put werewolves in it. Fucking Blade 3. Remember I think it was like the post-credit scene in it, and they introduced werewolves into the Blade universe?
I don't know anything you're talking about.
No?
No.
Yeah, there's a scene at the end of Blade 3 they go to like Vegas or some shit, and it's Jessica Biel and Ryan Reynolds. Blade's not in it, but they go to Vegas because now they're werewolf hunters as well, and they go and attack this guy they suspect is a werewolf. He transforms into a werewolf. Straight up looks like a fucking football mascot. Know what it looks like? It looks like that fucking pink fluffy thing from Jingle All the Way, but not pink.
Oh, wow.
Booster. It looks like fucking Booster from Jingle All the Way.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. And you're like, what the fuck is going on?
And Ryan Reynolds still has a career.
that goes on par with like the first rendition of Deadpool. And Green Lantern. I feel like he's just like, oh, that happened.
He's like, oh, we're gonna talk about that now.
But that's like this movie is like such a bummer that it became such a clusterfuck basically.
Yeah.
Because it's like the whole idea, Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson doing a werewolf movie sounds great.
Awesome.
That sounds like a cool. Sign me up. If I was a producer in Hollywood, I'd be like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
that sounds great. Like, let's give it a try. Let's see what happens.
And apparently, so like, and everybody, there was like huge list of people that were on board with this first script, and they filmed 90% of this original script. They literally only had the ending to film. And what was it? I forget what article. Someone was like, where. It just lost me. I should have made a note of it. They compared like, imagine when like this person dies in a movie and then how much left is in that movie. That's how much was left in filming of this movie.
Well, like I can't remember who. I think it was
so like
Eisenberg said that one of the only original shots is the car tumbling down the hill.
Yeah, that's like literally the only. And then like I think a handful, almost all of the high school scenes.
Oh, okay.
With the girl that he was interested in.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Which I forget. She actually went on to be popular. I don't know why. But I forgot to bring her up.
I forgot to bring her up too.
But
I read her down.
So like I guess in an idea is.
Oh no, because
we just did Final Destination last week. So when Devon Sawa is in the cabin and starts running towards Clear, Ali Larder's character, that's how much was left of the movie to film.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why are we talking about that? Okay, I got it.
Yeah, that's how much left of the movie was to film. Like, just like literally the final climax, the final climax, and then the denouement.
Yeah.
So, and what happened pretty much is that Bob Weinstein, who was apparently on board with everything for the longest time, and then sees what it is, and then just apparently just changed his mind.
Suddenly just didn't like it.
And then put everything on hold. And had a complete overhaul rewrite for the script. So this original script was supposed to have three main characters, which was Jesse Eisenberg, Christina Ricci, and Skeet Ulrich. And they were all supposed to be complete strangers.
Okay.
And it's supposed to, like, Skeet Ulrich's character is a Hollywood, like, hotshot type guy. Christina Ricci still works for the Craig Kilborn show. Okay. Which apparently, I was reading, Craig Ferguson took over
by the time this was
released, yeah. And Jesse Eisenberg, yeah, he was a high school student. So if I remember correctly, Skeet Ulrich drunkenly hits Christina Ricci's car off. Like, that's what the tumbling was supposed to be, Christina Ricci in that car. Or maybe him. One of the two. There's a car accident between them, and Jesse Eisenberg's character stops because he's driving somewhere and just in the midst of it stops to help them.
Okay.
And that's when the werewolf attack happens. And so the idea of the movie was the telling of three separate stories of how three different people deal with
becoming
a werewolf. Which then, with Judy Greer's character still kind of like being like the alpha, that werewolf at the end and whatnot. But then there's supposed to be more of like this like love relationship of like Skeet. It's also another Skeet being like shown as the bad guy, you know, like in Scream.
Yeah.
But this one, he's not the bad guy. But then there's like there's supposed to be a love story between Skeet and Christina Ricci's character. So like that, that entire storyline's gone. And Jesse Eisenberg, his story is pretty much the one that stays the most true to the original script because he's got the whole thing with the high school. And the guy that plays Bo, Milo, whatever, he plays some fucked up roles. He's from Heroes. He plays the jock that's the closeted jock.
Yeah, no, I only know him from Gilmore Girls.
Okay, yeah.
That's what I recognize him from.
I recognize him first from Heroes.
I never got into it.
Really?
I tried. I just couldn't really.
The first season's not bad. After that, it goes downhill.
That's what I was, fast. I think that's what I always heard. So I was like, why would I want? If I know it's gonna go terrible, why do I want to continue watching it? It's like Lost.
Yep.
It just got so convoluted.
I tried to start watching Lost. And
I watched like the first season, and I was like,
I didn't realize that like they're hour-long episodes, and there's like 23 episodes per season. Just like holy shit,
like 12 seasons or some shit.
Yeah, like, God damn, that's a lot of. I don't want to get lost in that. Anywho, so, and then Scott Baio's character, he's supposed to be the actual like main wolf, but like not the bad. He's not a bad guy in it, but you find out that he's actually like the elder werewolf that turned Judy Greer's character, but she's now like dominated over him and whatnot. So he's supposed to actually be like a prominent, like a big role in this movie. That's like the twist at the end of Scott Baio is a werewolf.
Yeah, well, that was like, Fallon called this movie play by play.
Oh yeah, no, this movie's so predictable.
And I was like, well, then I was like, no, it's Craven. He's not going to make the boyfriend the bad guy again. He did that in Scream. Why would he do that again?
Because that's what Bob Weinstein wanted.
That's what Bob wanted. And then I was like, because I didn't really remember this movie. I know I've seen it, but I had no idea. I was like, my vote, it's going to be Scott Baio is going to be the werewolf. Why the fuck else is he in?
You fucking called that?
Yeah.
I just thought it was a funny cameo.
No, that's what I was like, yeah, you could do a cameo, but he's constantly in this movie. For a cameo, he's popping up left and right.
That's fair.
He's got to have more of a something in the plot.
But the way that this version that we watched is edited and like cut to like point you towards, it is Joshua Jackson's character as the lead werewolf.
Yeah.
Judy Greer, that's kind of like a good swerve, but makes sense. I feel like there is a little bit of like a lean towards that. Like for the movie that was released, it's edited properly for that story. You know what I mean?
There were a couple of moments that I was like, I feel like that they didn't edit that right.
Oh no, there's still a lot
dialogue. I was like,
oh no, there's still moments of this movie that are incomprehensible on what's happening.
Yeah, like what?
But for like the story, for the end product, like it was leading you in the right direction with the right misdirection. Does that make sense?
Let's try and end this with a compliment sandwich.
I don't know if I can.
I know, that's a fun little exercise though.
Fuck that noise. But okay, so that's the original story is with Scott Baio and all that stuff, and then it gets put on hold by Weinstein, and then and Mandy Moore. I don't know for her. Yeah, and Shannon Elizabeth had a different role in it as well. Oh no, Mandy Moore's character was originally Maya's character. So when they needed to do reshoots and Mandy Moore couldn't come back, they just cut Mandy Moore out and brought in Maya.
And just to clarify, the reason that a bunch of people are in this and then is because of the whole reshooting. They had other shit they had to do. So
yeah, there was scheduling conflicts.
They couldn't come back, so they had to change the story to fit with the people they actually could hold on to.
Yeah, like
basically.
That we're still willing to do it, I guess. Yeah, because like even like the love interest for Jesse Eisenberg's character, she just refused to come back for reshoots.
Yeah,
she's like, no, it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare. So second reshoots come along, and that's when. Oh, and there was also supposed to be like a father relationship between Jesse Eisenberg and his dad, and Skeet Ulrich and his dad, and there would be abusive parents and shit. So like, there's just like so much like cut out of this goddamn story that would have made it so much more richer. And then they overhaul it to now Christina Ricci's character and Jesse Eisenberg's character are brother and sister.
How weird would that be?
Which was so forced.
Yeah, but also how weird would that be to do an entire movie where you're these two different people and you're like, okay, this is my character, this is your character, blah, blah, blah. And then suddenly flip it to now we have to be brother and sister.
I mean, it kind of reads on how awkward their scenes were together. Like,
yeah,
you could totally tell they're like, oh, we haven't had any chance to build this
chemistry.
Yeah. And also, I gotta say, Christina Ricci is a really good actress, and her acting in this movie is very, like, you could tell she's really phoning it in at a certain point.
I feel like everyone kind of was at a certain point.
So then, Joshua Jackson's brought on, and then there's an alternate ending. So this is reshoot number 2 or 3. I also got a timeline of the reshoots.
Oh, really?
And I'll go through that in a minute. So it's supposed to be the original ending after these reshoots that Kevin Williamson and Wes Craven were like, this is the movie we want to make type thing, is Joshua Jackson comes forward. He's like, I am actually the werewolf. I turned Judy Greer's character into the werewolf. I'm tired of being cursed like this. I don't want to have this problem anymore. In order to save your brother, you have to kill me. Like, just put me out of my misery type thing. This is all ending in the museum or the whatever the fucking Tinsel Town was.
Yeah.
And Christina Ricci refuses, so he forces her hand to it by attacking her brother. And her brother starts turning to a werewolf who's gonna like not be able to control it. In order to save her brother from turning into the werewolf, she has to kill him. So it kind of has like this bittersweet ending and more tragic ending, and more of like you know what I mean. And it was just a lot better of an ending. And Weinstein was like, no, don't like that. He's going to be the bad guy. And so they go into fourth reshoot of the new ending, how it ends now, with Joshua Jackson's character being still like the main werewolf, or the oldest werewolf, the one that they need to kill to like get themselves better. But now he's like creepy, obsessed. No, you're gonna be with me forever, my werewolf bride. But I have to kill your brother because there's going to be one alpha. Then make him a beta. God, what's your problem? There could only be one male wolf. It's like, no. All right, but yeah, that's a history for a movie for you.
Kind of it.
Yeah. So all right. So this is from bloodydisgusting.com, which has a good amount of articles actually about this. And this is written by Trace Thurman. Actually, there was a couple of articles for this movie written within the last year and a half, which I thought was interesting. And a part of that's because of the Snyder cut being released.
Yeah, there's the Wes Craven cut they want.
Yeah,
released.
A lot of people have been talking, like that was like in 2018.
You said bloodydisgusting.com?
Bloody-disgusting.com, yeah.
I want to check out that site.
And so this is kind of like, this is an estimated timeline. It's like it's as they put it, not perhaps 100% correct, but an estimated timeline of events based on information that has been public over the years. And this was released in 2019. So August 2000, Williamson writes the original script for Cursed. August 2002, Bob Weinstein announces that Cursed would reinvent the werewolf genre, and Wes Craven would direct, the movie being released around August 2003. March 2003, filming begins on Cursed. Late spring, early summer 2003, Weinstein expresses his unhappiness with the 90% of Cursed that had been shot and orders the script to be rewritten and the film reshot with the new script. Production is postponed for almost a year. December 2003, shooting begins on the new script with actors being recast, like Mandy Moore to Maya, and some people being completely removed, Skeet Ulrich's character. Mid-2004, 2 more sets of reshoots are done. One of which being a new ending. Well, a newer ending, since it would be the third one written for the film. The film was scheduled to be released October 2004. Fall 2004. Bob Weinstein demands the R-rated film be cut down to earn PG-13 rating. The film was pushed from its October 2004 release date to accommodate these edits. Also, apparently the DVD has the R-rated version on it.
It's only like 2 minutes longer.
Yeah, it just has more blood and gore.
Yeah.
That's it. February 2005, Cursed is released in theaters nationwide and opens to overwhelmingly negative reviews and a domestic opening weekend gross of $9.6 million. The film would go on to gross $19.3, $10.3 internationally for a worldwide total of $29.6 against a reported budget of $38 million, though some have claimed it ballooned as high as $75.
I want to interview Bob Weinstein.
I don't.
I do.
You want just to fucking be like gaslit and lied to, probably?
No, I want to know. Like, so
where do you think he would be honest at any point?
Oh, I don't think he. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if he's honest. I want to know what he says. Like face to face, be like, hey, so do everything you just said. Throw it out to him and be like, so what part of you thinks is a good idea to get involved? Just. What? Because it would either be probably not, but there's I see 2 lanes that you can go down with this. One of complete acceptance that you're a fucking idiot, and be like, I made a mistake. I made some bad calls. Or is it going to be the critics? And is it going to be Craven? And is it going to be Williamson that are the problem? It's probably going to be that one. Let's be real. I can't speak for him, but I would love to fucking just be like, so what do you have to say about this, sir?
Yeah.
Explain it to me.
Well, I mean, apparently, so there was another movie that Wes Craven was supposed to be working on with Miramax called Pulse, which was a remake of a
Japanese horror movie.
Yeah, Japanese horror movie, which was eventually,
I think I've seen Pulse.
2006.
Yeah.
It was eventually released with a credit on Wes Craven as a writer because I think they just took his fucking script and had somebody else do it.
What's kind of interesting and kind of sad to kind of go back to Craven is I was reading an interview.
This kind of put a damper on like the rest of his career.
He was very like bummed for because I'm stupid and can't think of a better word. But he was basically with this whole thing like the Weinstein shelving Pulse and being like make this movie. He was like, no, I don't really want to. But then they're like, we'll double your
salary,
your director salary. And he kind of was like, okay, like, all right, I'll kind of make it work. But then with all of the shit that happened after the fact, he was being like, there's a whole interview with it where he's like, in this time frame for this one movie that I made or that helped make, then that I directed, that took 2.5 years of my life, basically, I could have made 2 other movies. But I couldn't because I was
made 2 movies that were making other people money and more myself money.
And I don't want to say forced because I mean he was paid, you know. Yeah, he took the job, but he's like, if I had known, I wouldn't have done it because I could have made 2 other whole movies.
It's an honor to see it through, you know.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like this is. I mean, obviously I haven't seen all of his movies. This is the only Craven movie I was like, I don't even really. It's not even a Wes Craven movie to me.
It's really not.
Or a Kevin Williamson. It doesn't have that feel.
No, this is a fucking Weinstein movie.
Yeah, it's like all credit should be to Weinstein, which is really unfair too, because there's so many people involved in making it.
Yeah. It's like the visual effects artist that was originally chosen for it
got panned,
gone,
basically, completely scrapped all of his work.
Yeah, the original script for your writer
basically should have been set on fire.
Yeah, and Weinstein forced so much of his idea into it, like new ending, new this, that it might as well just be Weinstein's idea.
When it comes to the credits, it should say casting by Bob. Music by Bob, because it's like he obviously had his fingers in every single pie and didn't let anyone that was actually a creative person for this kind of genre in this industry to do what the fuck they wanted. It's fucking ridiculous. It's like, it's kind of a bummer. That's why this movie is very interesting to watch with this knowledge.
Yeah,
because you're like,
very interesting.
Because there's even one scene that I was like, I don't know.
Actually, when I was doing research, sorry to interrupt. When I was doing research, I had to stop doing my research because since I hadn't seen it. I was like, okay, I need to actually like now that I have some of this knowledge, I need to watch this before I read too much, and then as I'm watching it, it's already like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to like stop, watch the movie, and then finish my research on it.
What was I think?
Oh. And also I stopped, and also I didn't want to have too much of like the knowledge of what the reshoots and everything were to really influence my review. Just knowing that it was put into production hell was enough to influence my review.
Yeah.
But then also it kind of was like, well, this is kind of unfair to review as a work of Wes Craven and Kevin Williamson.
Yeah.
You know. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, there's just there was just things that like we were talking like almost in continuity, but there's one that really stood out to me, and it's in the very beginning with the whole car accident. Mm-hmm. And Shannon Elizabeth, she rolls down the hill and then she gets like pinned under the dashboard. And then Jesse Eisenberg gets in there.
Yeah.
And is like trying to like, I don't know what he's trying to do.
Right.
In all honesty, I'm like, the dashboard is pushed in and pinned. You're going to push it back? Yeah. And that's basically what it's implying that he's doing. But in that whole kind of like scene too, I
can totally see Jesse Eisenberg like, what am I doing in the scene? But push the dashboard back. Yeah, because that's humanly possible.
Okay.
It's just a snide quick. Yeah, because that could totally work.
Like maybe you could wriggle her out of there somehow, but like pushing back the
getting
dashboard,
her seatbelt undone. That's like the key thing.
Yeah, but in that whole scene, you know, Christina Ricci is on the outside of the car. She's hearing shit in the forest, and she's like, all that's happening. But when Eisenberg is fiddling around, she says, what does she say? She says, "Hurry up, it's coming."
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, okay, either
what is it?
She either means it, like it's coming loose, or is this a reshot where she is aware of the werewolf and she's running from it? Because she says it's coming. What's coming?
Yeah.
Is it coming loose? Or is this a weird reshot where your character was aware of being chased by a werewolf? That's why you were driving down the road. So it's just shit like that. Like throughout the movie,
it makes me wonder. Like that's obviously just like a bad piece of dialogue. It should have been more like something's coming, you know. And I think that's more what the intention of like it's coming is. You know what I mean? It's like
yeah, or even it's like or add a word. It's coming loose. Okay, whatever. The dashboard is coming loose. Okay.
No, but that's not what she's talking about. She's talking about the creature in the night that she's unaware of. Something's coming. She keeps hearing something like something's coming. This is what the line should have been. You know, does that make more sense?
Yeah, I mean, I guess.
And that's what I'm saying. It's just a bad piece of line.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
it's
it doesn't make any sense at all.
You as the viewer are like, okay, what?
I didn't even catch that because I actually had to rewind this movie a couple of times because I'm like, oh shit, I need to put my phone down. Like I'm losing interest, which is also so fucking weird. Like
you were losing interest. I was fascinated with this movie,
dude. I was so bored.
I don't think I ever have to watch it again, but I was fascinated with this movie. I mean, okay, is there one? I have one thing that I really fucking loved.
What's that?
No, but do you have like?
No, I can't. I mean, I can't think of anything.
Werewolf golden retriever.
I just wish that was better CGI.
I loved the concept. I thought it was so. I was like, werewolf
also,
dog.
that was such a quick event and such an afterthought after it happened. Really, that I can tell that there was supposed to be more to that
than ended up actually making it to the final product.
Like, there's so many things that happen in this movie that are just kind of like, it's just like, oh, well, that happened, and then it just moves to the next thing. And like, the big part of this movie, I would say, is just like there's a casual tone to it.
Oh,
you know, like
yeah.
Jesse Eisenberg's character is like I saw an article describing it as like, you know, like teens doing like Lost Boys, like teens doing research to like figure out the spooky guy next door, the neighbor next door type scenario, where like he's learning about werewolf stuff through his comic books and the internet, and he's just so casual, like, yeah, so like I was reading about werewolves last night, and Christina Ricci's character is like, so werewolves? I
didn't put that together. It is very much Lost Boys in the research department.
Like, it's just,
bloodsuckers.
It's like
Corey Feldman was supposed to be in this.
Yeah, Corey Feldman was supposed to be in it too. Yeah, that's right. Like, it doesn't really know what kind of movie it is.
Instead of that, he just went on to make a bunch of Lost Boys sequels.
It's true.
You know, there's a lot of those, right?
Yeah, that he's all starring in.
Yeah, there's a lot of Lost Boys sequels.
Like, he kind of made it a franchise.
Yeah, like a weird cult franchise.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, so
I saw the second one. It wasn't bad. I mean, it was terrible, but it was fun. It was fun.
I mean, I don't think we really need to go through like the events of this movie.
Well, I mean, just
like a car crash happens, they turn into werewolves. There's homophobic slurs that guys.
Oh, can we talk about that for a second?
Yeah, let's do it.
So like the movie starts kind of like, you know, introducing the characters, but there's just this scene where Jesse Eisenberg is like,
he's clearly got a crush on the popular girl.
Her, you know, like make sure he goes to her job. Like
it's the movies. Boys can be stocky and it's not creepy.
He uses his dog as like a pickup line. Like,
actually, no, that's kind of smart. Send the dog in, be like,
tropey.
It's very tropey.
It's so tropey.
It works in real life.
But like, you know, the girl he has a crush on is dating the varsity jock football wrestler guy. And he just casually walks in and just starts making back-to-back homophobic remarks.
He's calling Jesse Eisenberg's character gay with like in very more derogatory.
The derogatory fashion.
Yeah, every time I hear that word, I'm like, whoa! It literally like it sounds like, whoa! At one point, they said it.
At one point, Bo, he says something like, "And your dog is gay too."
That's right.
I was like, what? Oh. The fuck? But yeah.
And it's like there's then a second, like two more times where he's calling he's, you know, being super fucking shitty to Jesse Eisenberg's character. And like Jesse Eisenberg's character, this is also like the Teen Wolf thing where he's starting to like get confident from his werewolf powers.
It's Teen Wolf meets Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, oh god, yeah, that's very accurate. Where he starts standing up to Bo because like now he's got confidence because he feels cool and he's got this weird allure.
That was a weird addition. For the listeners, one of the powers you get when you're a werewolf is that you're just naturally sexually attractive to everyone.
Yeah,
you have a musk about you. I don't know
that was actually really funny. Every time Christina Ricci walking by some guy in the back, she's like, huh? And then a woman like, pay attention to me.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Oh, dude, all of it, constantly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was hilarious. I don't blame him, but and so eventually, like after all of these homophobic slurs being thrown at Jesse Eisenberg's character by Bo, and then
Eisenberg makes a comment that he's projecting, basically.
He's like, yeah, you're what is this? Is that why you like to wrestle? Because like he says something about like rubbing your body up against other men, and then Jesse Eisenberg.
That's pretty true for high school. You hear a lot of that if you're on the wrestling team.
Yeah,
from personal experience.
Yeah. And so Jesse Eisenberg's character is like, he's like, so what are you projecting? Is that why you like to do this? Like, do you like to rub up against other men?
High school a decade ago. I got to make that clear.
More than a decade ago, decade and a half ago.
For you.
Oh yeah. For this movie.
Yeah.
I did graduate in 2005, so.
But yeah, there's like it leads to then Bo showing up to.
This is after Zipper turns into werewolf dog as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, yeah. Oh, then that's another thing too about like typical werewolf lore is you are bit by a werewolf or a wolf depending on which one you're talking about, and if you
it had to be a werewolf.
I remember in a couple it could be a wolf,
just a regular wolf
on a full moon. Like there's more like stipulation to it. Like, but okay, fine. Let's just werewolf.
I'm just like curious. Like I've never heard that before. I'm just like that's interesting.
But
so you keep going.
But like in this world, basically being a werewolf is like a really aggressive STD.
Oh, guys, I gotta tell you,
it is though. It's
I got a werewolf.
So
I got a werewolf.
You get a werewolf dog from biting a werewolf. So the dog bit the werewolf, and then he becomes a werewolf.
This movie is just all one giant metaphor for having werewolf STD.
And then Jesse and Christina both get scratched. Not bit. They get scratched. They become a werewolf. So it's in the blood. It's under the fingernails.
They were only scratched. Yeah.
It's in the teeth. And apparently in Joshua Jackson's dick because he slept with somebody, she becomes a werewolf.
He was probably scratching her back and nibbling on her neck. He got a little carried away.
No, but like it's a really aggressive disease that you can get.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because there's like 6 different ways to get it. Like,
oh my god,
I was like, I don't. Because also, and I say the STD thing because even Judy Greer makes a very like. So apparently all I got was a hot night of steamy sex and no phone calls. And like, it's just like, there's a very sexual aspect to it for her transformation.
Yeah.
I was just like, this man, Fallon goes, okay, if it's really this easy to become a werewolf, shouldn't there just be more around? I was like, that's a very fair, like.
Also, yeah, why the other girls that he's slept with aren't werewolves?
She said that too. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, like it seems really easy. Like everything else, it seemed kind of like more of a process to become a werewolf. But in this world, man, you could spit in someone's drink and make them a werewolf. Like, doesning seem that hard.
Will you be my wolf bride?
Yeah, like, God. I don't know. The whole fucking thing was just.
I guess like we've kind of like the big, I guess, quick recap of the movie would be as the beginning of your synopsis. What is you gonna read the beginning of your synopsis again?
Brother and sister involved in a werewolf-related car accident.
Boom. There we go. Fast forward to
them going through changes.
They're going through changes. What
was that?
Have you not heard that song?
I don't know.
It's old Black Sabbath. It's the opening to Big Mouth.
Probably not then. Never was a Black Sabbath.
It's like, it's strangely one of the like, it's not even like a metal song. It's just like a very, actually I think you would really like the song.
Okay,
actually.
I'll check it out.
But
yeah, then we get into Teen Wolf part 3.
It's like Teen Wolf with Jesse Eisenberg and denial of I had sex with him, Christina Ricci. No, wait, that's Judy Greer. Sorry, never mind.
I was like, wait a minute.
I don't know why I just said that.
That was just even if you had.
It was so wrong.
Even if you put Judy Greer in, it's still in a weird
still
statement.
Even wrong. Yeah,
it's been a weird, uncomfortable statement. And then
denial. I'm turning into a werewolf, I guess is what I was trying to say.
And then it just goes through them trying to figure out who the werewolf is.
Joshua Jackson's kind of creepy. What's up with him in her house?
Oh, that was another inconsistent thing.
The weird, the window was open. Oh, the door's open. Why? No, what is the point of this?
But even then, the chain. She had the chain. So how did he? So did he? So if the chain's done, what he did was he climbed through the window, went around, opened the door, got the chain off, and then left the door open.
He's a spooky werewolf.
Yeah,
I don't know. Yeah, it's like, what the fuck is happening? Also, at that moment, I was like, because that's never brought up. That she doesn't bring it up like, oh, you were at my place last night. Doesn't even bring it up like, was that a dream or anything? It's just like forgotten.
That whole like premonition scene thing that she has. Is that what you're talking about?
No, so she bites him. That's not a premonition scene, is it?
Well, I don't know. That's what I'm asking.
No, exactly.
Because then Jesse Eisenberg wakes up outside.
No, exactly. It's like they changed and they don't remember it. So then, but that's the thing is it's never brought up. They don't talk about it. It's just there, and then it's never talked about.
I mean, I guess if you wanted to try and make it sense, is that the reason it wasn't brought up is because she was doing it to Joshua.
Yeah.
He is a werewolf, so he knows. So he's kind of trying to lean her into. I don't know.
But why wouldn't she the next time she sees him be like, "Oh,
did I try and eat you last night?"
Yeah, what? You were at my house the other night. It's nothing.
Nothing's actually
nothing.
Well, and I think that also that was kind of supposed to be kind of a theme of it for Christina Ricci's character
of her denial
because of the whole parents dying in the car accident,
which is brought up once.
Yeah, but that's kind of like a theme that I think was maybe supposed to be in the second version.
Yeah, probably.
In the second version was gonna be this because that's her thing.
Yeah,
she the picture frame. She picks it up knowing it's steel, not silver.
Yeah. So. Where are we at with the fucking? So yeah, they're going through changes, and then changes. There's another one.
You did a song. I was like, I'll do a song.
What? Who's that? I can't remember. Bowie. That's right. I wanted to say the Beatles. I'm like, that's not right. Potato.
It's the same era.
Yeah.
Same.
I guess
longevity.
Yeah. Anywho, I'm trying to think of. So yeah, Judy Greer's character is introduced because she's the agent of Scott Baio.
I'm sure I pissed someone off with that.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of how to get Judy Greer's character really introduced. Oh, well, she slept with Joshua Jake.
She works with Christina Ricci.
Kind of. She seems to be more the talent agent for Scott Baio. So she's around because Baio's around type thing. That is, I don't know. That's Hollywood. Joshua Jackson's character, that's what I'm trying to... He's trying to kind of get to talk to Christina Ricci through this. You can tell there's a weird, we need to talk about something, and she just won't listen to him.
I just realized something.
Huh.
So something we didn't really bring... My headphones on weird. Didn't really bring up is the horror element to this is really that there are women... Only 2.
Yeah.
Weird.
There's not a big death count in this movie.
There are 2 women that have been viciously assaulted by some animal. And that's the horror aspect.
And killed.
So something is killing these women. But I just realized something. At some point, she's hearing the TV. Christina Ricci is hearing the TV playing and saying that this marks the 22nd violent animal attack in recent, let's say, I can't remember, recent year or whatever. So, but Judy Greer is the werewolf, and she's killing all of the competition that want to sleep with Joshua. Was that a line implying that he had slept with 22 women in the year that Judy Greer was picking off?
I mean, he is trying to tell Christina Ricci that he's a changed man, and he's not doing that whole sleeping around thing anymore.
22 in a year. Sleeping with 22 people in a year? That's a lot.
I don't know. I feel like with Tinder, for a lot of people, that's just that's average now.
Sounds exhausting. No, I'm not judging. It just sounds like a lot of work.
It's just, I mean, if you think about it, if there's 52 weeks in a year, that's a different person every 2 weeks.
Thanks for doing the math for me. That did make it sound less work. Made it sound more manageable.
It's only a date every other week.
Makes it sound more manageable. Oh god! But I just put that. I was like, is that what they were trying to imply with that?
So yeah, the end of the movie pretty much. I don't know. Well, I guess we already talked about that. Judy Greer is revealed as she's actually killing people. It's revealed in like the Tinseltown thing or the Tinsel nightclub.
That was kind of one of the coolest things about the movie was just looking at the props.
Yeah, that is. Yeah,
there was like Conan the Barbarian's sword. There was
so that's kind of there's like a twist.
Head,
oh yeah, that sword I thought was going to be like what takes the head off.
I'm pretty sure that was Conan's sword, but it was with the Xena exhibit. It looked a lot like Conan. No, it wasn't Conan's sword.
No.
It looks a lot like it though. It must have been Xena's sword.
I think it was Xena's sword.
Conan, yeah, that's not Conan's sword. No,
Conan's sword is huge.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love like Christina Ricci is like, and she's got a bony ass. Reveal of the werewolf flipping her off. That was funny.
That's when Fallon checked out.
Fallon's like,
why? Like she was like, why? I was like, because I enjoyed it.
It's like this feels like Kevin Williamson here.
They wanted a werewolf flipping someone off. Like
yeah. Joshua Jackson is actually the bad guy.
At one point, then they didn't put subtitles on it. The werewolf, Judy Greer werewolf, calls Christina Ricci bitch.
Oh, really?
And like, it's like she's like running and she's like going up the wall and she's like, bitch. But it's no. Nice. So, and I just went. It didn't spell it out, but did she just call her a bitch? Yeah, she did. I'm like, okay. And then she proceeded to flip her off.
That's awesome. I mean, this movie essentially ends. Yeah, Joshua Jackson. Christina Ricci chops his head off with a fucking after she stabs him with the silver as he's trying to choke her out. Yeah, whatever. He's now just trying to kill everybody because now he's a bad guy. Because he's a werewolf.
It escalated really quickly.
Yeah. And they're changing because now it's turning to midnight on the full moon.
Yeah, that was also inconsistent too. I'm like, why is everyone?
Everything in this movie is inconsistent.
Yeah. It's like the dog changed really quick. You are all kind of taking your time with it.
Chops off his head because you have to separate the head from the heart type thing, and then Bo he comes out to Jesse Eisenberg's character on the porch.
Oh yeah, we kind of forgot about that.
And like. I'm trying to kiss him, whatnot, and like this, like they immediately kind of become friends in a way because of this. Also, I guess like the fear of the werewolf dog is they're running away, whatever. But
I was bummed out when I thought Bo died. I'm like, he came out and then he died in the same night. That's bummer. But
and don't come out of the closet.
But he was okay.
He was fine. He lived. Now they're friends, and he brings over
his girlfriend.
His now ex-girlfriend. Apparently, what she probably knew. For how comfortable she was with the situation.
She probably knew.
She probably knew that she was his beard. You know. And then he's like, get the girl type thing, and then he gets the girl, and then they walk off into the moonlight instead of the sunset.
That looked like such a...
I guess I'll clean up the mess. Thank you, Christina Ricci, for that zinger one-liner.
And then she looks at the moon, and then the movie ends. And that's all she wrote.
This movie sucks.
I would recommend watching it, only... not to toot our own horn, but now that you know this drama behind it, read the drama, do your own little research, listen to this, and then watch the movie. That makes it interesting. Yeah. On its own, it's like... straight to DVD horse shit, and it's just like such a bummer too because with the cast they did have, at least of like the main four, they were like casted fine for their character. It just needed it, like even with what the script is, its final thing, it could have just been better. I mean, it could have been better, but it just wasn't. And it also is just because it really just comes down to you can't reshoot a movie that much. No. You can't. You're now literally chopping it away and gluing it back together. Oh, I saw one review. Fuck. Shit. Do I still have it up? Because they said... there's... Okay. Oh well, I can't find the review I wanted. But long story short, I just wanted to give credit to the writer, but they basically said that it was chopped up and put back together like a poorly written ransom note.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
What are you going to give it? What are we going to give it? What is the official TJ's mixtape review? Gizmo award thing.
Our Gremlin scale. Yeah, that's a good name for it, actually. The Gremlin scale.
Yeah.
I honestly, it's like, it's worse than a Gremlin. I think it's a Spike. in my opinion.
Really?
Yeah, this is not good.
Oh.
Even if I haven't done all of that research, watching this, I would have. It's a hot mess.
It's a Spike as a movie is as a world to go live in for the hour and a half, hour and 37 minutes. It's Spike, but with, like I was saying just a second ago, with I give it a Gremlin because of the fact that, like, the casting, I liked everyone in it. Just the fact of what it could have been, like, I'm going to give it a Gremlin.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. I mean, I really feel
with the knowledge I have.
I feel like it's a Spike because of what the final product is, and this is not this is not at anything towards Kevin Williamson or Wes Craven. This movie itself became a Spike because of the unfortunate situation this movie had to live in, because of the unfortunate producer Bob Weinstein.
My first thought is the Gremlin from the second one, the smart one.
Oh yeah,
the talking one.
Yeah.
Because there's a dialogue to be had with it.
Yeah, exactly right.
So it's the Gremlin from it's the Gremlin that could talk.
Yeah, I wish I knew his name.
Yeah,
the intelligent Gremlin maybe.
I don't know.
But like. I wouldn't even really recommend this movie to anybody to casually watch. I would recommend it to somebody that is wanting to, like,
Brain Gremlin.
That's his name. I would recommend this to somebody who's wanting to do, like, research with it.
Yeah.
Type thing. You know, it's like if you're looking for a specific type of, like, I want to see something that has a complicated history because I am writing something about stuff like that.
Or fellow podcasters, this is a fun one to, like, dive into. To
just the casual, like, horror fan or casual, like, you know, like, just movie watcher, I do not recommend this movie. It's not good. It's an unfortunate hot mess. But yeah, that's how I feel. Fucking you. Fuck you, Bob Weinstein. I'm going to say it.
What have we been calling him?
Bob Weinstein.
No. The evil Gremlin?
You said, what, Spike?
It's Stripe.
It's Stripe?
It's Stripe.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah, but I always thought it was Spike.
So did I.
No, it's Stripe. That's not as... Huh.
Whatever.
No one corrected us.
That's fine.
Anyways.
All right, I think we should be wrapping it up.
All right.
But yeah, so I mean that was cursed. Oh, thanks. That's the end of our
spooky season.
Spooky season. Now we're moving into November, and it's turkey season. But we're not talking about turkeys.
Not like last year.
that was
fun though.
That was amusing. Because also, like, this November, it's kind of like situated a lot with, like, football. We're actually going to be going into some football movies. It's the middle of the meat of the NFL season, and, like, Thanksgiving, everybody
watches football.
Not everybody, but, like, it's part of, like, the American tradition.
Yeah.
Other than taking things from,
and we haven't really done sports movies.
We haven't done any sports movies.
We're like, cool, let's do sports movies.
So
some football stuff.
It'll be a fun block, and do we want to announce what the movies are? Do you care?
Let's wait.
Just wait. Okay.
Yeah. Let's vet them a little more.
Sounds good. I feel like we vetted them pretty good last week.
I think so. I know, but I want to be real certain of it. We will give you the whole list on our next week's episode.
Yeah, well, when we start it off.
Yeah.
So yeah,
we'll figure it out.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening, and happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everybody. Be safe out there. This is Tommy.
I'll be right back. This is Jacob.
This is Tommy and Jacob's mixtape.
Bye.